What's up, YouTube? So I'm doing more of the game one losers. That's all I talk about was who lost. And we're gonna get the Grizzlies, the Magic, the Heat, and the Rockets in this room, and we're gonna break it down. Yeah, it's all off the top of the dome, and it's pretty self-explanatory. This might be one of the worst first game, first round playoff mismatches of situations I've ever seen. I'm gonna keep it 100. I mean, the Grizzlies, like, yeah, y'all beat Dallas, who were depleted. AD played by himself, and those other couple of them cats were throwing up Easter eggs. What was that mess with John Morant? Now, but you see, he's on an audition tour. He's gone out of Memphis, and the writing's on the wall. Getting a new coach, they just don't have no soul. They don't have nothing to mess OKC with. And the ironic thing is the league MVP, Shakes Alexander, SGA, who didn't really even ball like that. They still tore that behind up by 50 plus points. If someone puts a 50 burger on you like that, you ain't ready. You ain't gonna be ready, and no one respects you. So you already are walking wounded. And you might get lucky if OKC lets their guard down and give you a game, but it's only because of Ja Morant hanging on the rim with some heroics or something, but it ain't gonna be enough. Your team is not there. So I don't see you lasting much longer. And that game one, that was embarrassing. You didn't even bother to show up. Then we get to Orlando, who I like. I like Pablo a lot. I like Banchero. They got a couple pieces, but they're missing what we call a superstar guy who can really take that team with what they got. They're just a bunch of collection of parts. If Boston plays their best and doesn't slag, and I know Tatum had his wrist dangle a little bit, but if Boston plays at their best, this got all the makings of either a gentleman sweep or a broom. They're just not there. They're not there, and they don't have that piece. Their average team, they're kind of happy to be there. They will be putting up feisty to an extent, but if Boston plays defense, can score, it's not much of a game. We like Orlando, but we know that, hey, they about 2 or 3 years away and a piece or two. So, and last I checked, much as I like Banchero and all that, T-Mac and then Penny Hardaway and Shaq and them ain't coming through that door. So just keeping it 100 when I look at that. Then we get to the Heat, who are my team, but let's keep it 100. The Jimmy Butler's gone, and that magical play-in tournament run is not going to work. They're going against a better version of what they are. Cleveland had the best record in the East for a reason, and if Cleveland just gets their fives cracking 15 each, that's a blowout. As good as Bam Adebayo play and Wiggins play pretty good, and Tyler Hero, they don't have a firepower matchup with Cleveland. They don't play the defense, and they sure can't shoot that three ball. They're not. It's nice that they made the postseason, give you a cookie on the cookie and a lemonade cup, but you ain't gonna last long. I'm a Heat fan. I gotta keep it 100. The bench ain't really there. This is actually their parade because of the fact they made the playoffs. Because, they beat sorry account Atlanta and Trae Young, so they whatever, and they beat Chicago sorry account Billy Donovan, Giddy, and all them. So look at who they beat to get in. So they're a better notch than that, but that ain't saying much. So Heat Nation got to retool. This has been upside down, turbulent year. I give her exposed to props for getting in the playoffs, but that's about it. It's like, okay, we'll let you come to the door, but we ain't going to let you in all the way. And that's pretty much what I'm looking at. The last game, I do like the Rockets. I like Udoka. I think they had a chance, but there's a problem. They can play defense, but ironically, pants get tight in the postseason and in the possessions, and if you can't score, you're going to have a problem. They're going to have a problem because Jimmy Butler can get them on both sides. Steph Curry, they so busy concentrating on Steph, but they are spent on offense. They don't have instant offense. Udoka can flat out coach, but let's keep it 100. Ain't no Kenny Smith or Vernon Maxwell or Mario Elie or Robert Ory or Sam Cassell to knock down some perimeter shots. That's the biggest problem. I like Fred VanVleet and I like Jalen Green and what they got, but they missing that dude who makes life easier. They need an instant offensive type of player. And the reason why people think Golden State's going to win, well, if Golden State can defend like that, plus Steph can go off and they can score, it's going to be hard for Houston because Houston, like I said, their defense is on point, and and they will have moments. And I'm not going to say this series is over because of all those games yesterday. The Rockets, I still think, got a chance in the series. I don't think Miami has a chance against Cleveland at all. I don't think Memphis has a chance at all against OKC, and I don't think Orlando's got a chance against Boston. But all these games were dull blowouts, one-sided affairs, and the haves and the have-nots are wide. And contrary to what Adam Sills talks about with parity, maybe that Houston Golden State, we'll see if Houston can get that game and they make this thing 6-7, then we got something. But if Golden State dusts them off in 4 or 5, then this is one of the that'll be on the power line of one of the worst first rounds I've ever seen. Because right now I see some bad matchups and they don't look good. And that's why I'm not doing individuals. I'm just trying to lump you all as one because those games really were all blowouts. I mean, Golden State won by 10. Boston won by 15. OKC won by 51. And Cleveland won by 20 plus. That's not how you want it to start. So that 4 games, if I'm doing the math off the top of the dome, that's 100 points. That's a 25-point spanking. That's not good for basketball. But that's one of the reasons why people are tuned out, because it's some crappy play. And the quality is just not there. I'm not saying that none of these teams can't win a game. I think Houston Golden State is probably the best of those 4. But you see the have and the have-nots, and it is wide as the Grand Canyon. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.